Hello and welcome to Hot Money Technicals on Bloomberg Quint Live, India's first digital live streaming business news service. This is a show which gets you a complete wrap of all the stocks that are buzzing in trade. I'm Darshan Mehta. Let's welcome our experts then. Kunal Parar of Choice Broking, along with Dyaneshwar Padwal of KIFS Securities and Nilesh Jain of Anand Rathi Securities. Let's start with the first round of charts, and we have Kunal, and he has a chart on Adani Transmission. Adani Transmission has been doing quite well for itself. Let's have the chart, Kunal, if you can join me and explain what makes you bullish on Adani Transmission.
There's an Adani Transmission right now. You can see this is the second week, and the stock has already given a breakout over here. You can see that stock is trading above the upper band of this triangle formation, and right now the way stock is trading above this upper band, it clearly indicates an upside movement, and this triangle formation is a continuation formation, so I am expecting a good upside movement after this breakout. And the good part is this formation almost took almost 2 years to get complete, so it's like a good formation breakout we are seeing over here. And apart from this, you can see this yellow line. This is the first mark, second mark, and third mark. This is a 100 weeks moving average, and stock already took a support of the same. So whenever stock took the support of the same, we had seen a good upside movement. So I'm expecting the same replicate movement from this level to an upper level. So this is the chartically that I am seeing a good upside movement. As well as if we talk about RSI front, weekly RSI as well. You can see weekly RSI as well has given a breakout of its downward falling trend line, and there is just further space for RSI to move ahead. So even it indicates that the stock might spurt and there is a positive break in the counter. So based on the weekly chart, based on the weekly RSI, I am expecting a good upside movement in the counter.
Okay, that's the sense. Is this more of a positional call, or once this breakout has happened, you see this counter moving at a much brisk pace now?
It's a positional call, and my view is like that the stock might give a good upside movement for more than 25 to 28%. So it may take a time of somewhere around 5 to 6 months.
So 25. So you're seeing another 50 rupee upside, or probably 60-70 rupee upside is quite possible on this counter.
Yes, you can say.
Okay. What's the ideal strategy? Till what level should one buy? If it's a positional level, it's at 282. Till what level should one continue to buy?
Doesn't actually stock give a very good run up after giving a breakout. So let it cool down, okay, for sometimes. If it comes up to the level of 270, 265, it would become a good buying opportunity up to the level of 250. And I am seeing a 325 on a higher level, and after that 350 would be there with the SL of 235.
Okay, thanks so much for that, Kunal. Dyaneshwar, what's your sense on Adani Transmission?
Well, Darshan, I agree with Kunal. If you look at the higher time frame charts, mainly on monthly, so we have seen that we got the breakout at 256 on a 11th month's breakout that's been given by the Adani Transmission and sustained well above that level. So any dips comes towards the 255, 260 would be a great buying opportunity. I would keep a stop loss of 230 for initial leg of move towards the 330.
Okay, and Nilesh, what's your sense?
Well, no doubt about this chart pattern, which has provided a beautiful breakout on the weekly scale. I would suggest one should wait for some sort of a dip correction, or we can say that profit booking at a high level, because this is the third consecutive session we have seen a rally. So I would suggest buying in the range of 260 to 265. That should be the ideal range to go long for the upside target of 320 and 350 as well. One should keep a strict stop loss below 240.
Okay, that's the view that's coming in on Adani Transmission. Good thumbs up from all the analysts. Before we move on to the next guest, let me just address the numbers that have come out from Maruti. The October sales number at 1.53 lakh units. Our estimate was 1.6. The counter pretty much, I think, has managed to inch up post the numbers. There was a dip ahead of the numbers, and the counter has managed to move up. So no major surprises coming in from the Maruti auto sales numbers that have come out. But let's stick with autos, because Dyaneshwar has a chart on Bajaj Auto. Let's pull up the chart. Bajaj Auto has been a marked outperformer on the auto index. Pretty much one of the very few stocks that has, before the rally started a few days ago, was one of the only stocks that managed to give positive returns. But now, do you still see a buying potential in this counter, Dyaneshwar?
Yes, Darshan, if you look at the overall chart structure, so Bajaj Auto is moving in an escalating chart, wherein, every time it is taking a support of the rising trend line. So whenever it takes the support, it marches towards the uncharted territory. And same things has been happened over here. So we can say the history repeat itself, and in that scale we got the intermediate trend line breakout on the price chart, as well as if you just zoom out the RSI, so you can see probably in case of RSI also we got the trend line breakout, and simultaneously the range has been shifted. Earlier it was trading below the 60 marks, and right now we got the range shift in RSI on a weekly chart. On the price scale, if you look at the very good beautiful breakout has been happened, and you know, once we got the breakout on the RSI tends to remain in a motion or towards the northern trajectory, which helps price to move towards the uncharted territory. So current market price is a good buying opportunity. Keep a stop loss of 3,000 for an initial leg of up move towards the 3,700.
3,000 is your strict stop loss.
Yes.
Until what level will you start accumulating this counter?
Right now stock is quoting around somewhere around 3,250-60 marks. So 3,200, if it comes to 3,200, so that would be a great level to buying opportunity.
Okay, that would be a buying opportunity. And how soon do you see levels of 3,500 coming?
It will take more than a month, because this chart is these are higher time frame charts, mainly on weekly. So it will take 1 month to click.
No, because
on
if I see the chart, this thing, if it always matches to the upper end, probably it should go into much higher levels also.
3,700 would be an upper head resistance.
Okay, thanks so much for that, Dyaneshwar. Nilesh, is Bajaj Auto something that you also like?
Yes, definitely. Out of this, all the auto counters, I think Bajaj Auto should be the preferred pick. But since it has already rallied, I would again suggest one should wait for some sort of a profit booking. The ideal level to go long should be 3,200. The stop loss should be placed at 3,100. Upside target that we are expecting is of 3,400.
Okay, and what's your sense, Kunal?
Darshan, I have been maintaining my bullish call since last 1 month, and the way stock has been trading, I am seeing a good upside movement. On a smaller time frame, definitely the stock has given a breakout of its double bottom formation, and right now stock is trading above the neckline of the bottom formation. So any plunge in the counter up to the level of 3,150, it would become a good buying opportunity. My level is like 3,600, and more above with 3,800 would be there.
Okay, so that's the view consensus bullish call coming in on Bajaj Auto. It just depends on where you buy it now or buy it at a lower level. And the third chart on the series, we have a chart from Nilesh, and that is on Apollo Tyres. Let's pull up the counter and see how it has managed to move up. CEAT had come out with decent set of numbers, at least on the EBITDA front, and post that a lot of these tire stocks have started running. Apollo Tyres at 192. What's the strategy that you're
Well, Darshan, if you look at the broader structure, it has a tendency to trade in a channel. Earlier we saw this sort of a channel, this was a rising channel, then we saw breakdown from the same channel, then it has given a sharp correction. Now it is sort of forming a downward sloping falling wedge pattern, we can say that. If at all it manages to close in today's trading session above 195, which seems very much likely, I think the upside target that we are expecting is of 206. The other parameter that if you look at MACD, that has already provided buy crossover, it is trading in the oversold territory. From this territory, it has given buy crossover, which is again indicating some sort of a positive momentum to continue. If you look at the daily chart, again it has provided a flag and pole kind of a chart pattern.
Can you explain the flag and pole, where are you seeing it and how?
On the weekly scale, this is sort of a pole, and this flag, it has provided breakout from this particular pattern at this point of time. Now the flag and pole, the target is generally you should add this particular portion to this breakout. Target for the same is coming around 206. The second target that we are expecting from positional perspective is of 215.
So how long? 205, 250?
215, 215.
215. Okay, how long will this be a quick trade, or will this be a...
From very short term perspective, we are expecting 206 should come within next week, or maybe within 5 to 10 trading session. For 215, we are positive from time horizon of 15 to 20 trading.
And the move that we've seen, it's been rather steady, and the move for the past 4 days has been on the high trend. Has this been accompanied by decent volumes?
Yes, we have seen sort of a volume formation. Volume is building up in last couple of trading sessions.
The MACD also shows that.
Yes, MACD also shows, and it is also a zero line, above zero line. That is again a positive indication. So considering all these factors, from very short term perspective, one can do trading in this particular counter as well, and we have also recommended to our client. So that is sort of a part of disclaimer. So we are long for the target of 206.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Nilesh. Dyaneshwar, what's the sense you have on Apollo Tyres?
Well, Darshan, I am bullish on the auto stocks. So ultimately, if auto stocks tends to move in a northern trajectory, so it will give a kickstart to the auto ancillary like an Apollo tax. On the lower time frame charts, yes, stock has managed to sustain the 170 level and managed to cross the nearest resistance of 190, and it is sustaining above that. So this would be a great buying opportunity. Keep a stop loss of 180 on closing basis for an initial leg of up move towards the 210.
Okay, and what's your sense, Kunal?
Doesn't definitely even I'll go with buy side because the way stock has been trading and I think this is today is the first day that the stock has started to trade above its 200 days moving average. So it's like a good buying opportunity that creates on a daily chart. My view is like stock might spot up to the level of 210, 220 with the SL of 180.
Okay, that's the view that's coming in on Apollo Tyres. Let's start with the second round of chart, and Kunal has a chart on C8 now. Obviously, tyres seem to be in focus, and I had indicated that C8, the operational numbers were very strong, and post that there was a rally in some of the auto tyre names, in fact. But yeah, a lot of information on this chart. Yeah, so you need to explain.
There is a two part of this chart.
Okay.
First is the formation part, and second is the average part. So right now I'm talking about formation part. That's over here you can see that the stock has already given a breakout of its falling wedge formation. You can see over here. However, stock didn't spot, but after that it went into a consolidation phase, and right now today stock has given a breakout of the consolidation phase. So it's like based on this breakout of this consolidation phase, we might see an upside movement in the counter. So it's a good formation creation. And right now we have talking about second part, then 200 moving average plays crucial in the counter, because if we look from here, this yellow line is a 200 days moving average. Stock took the support of the SAM and spurt. Afterwards, it couldn't take the support of the 200 days moving average, and it fell for more than 50%. Means this level is somewhere around 1600, and after that it plunged up to the level of 800. So 200 days moving average plays a crucial role for the counter. Even this is the third time you can see over here it faced the again, and after that it plunged. So this is today is the first day the stock has started its fresh move above the 200 days moving average. So it clearly indicates a good upside movement in the counter. And as well as we talk about MACD, then you can see it's a positive crossover.
Yeah.
You can see it's a positive crossover. MACD histogram is as well indicate a positive and above zero line. So overall it indicates a good strength in the counter. So based on this MACD plus based on this moving 200 days moving average and breakout of consolidation, I am seeing a good upside movement in the counter.
So it's at 1030 right now. What's the ideal strategy that one has to follow?
At CMP, one can get into the stock even if it fall up to the level of 1000, it would become a good buying opportunity. Downside, my SL is 920, and the way stock has been trading since last 2 days, stock might hit 1150 and 1260.
Okay, that's the sense that you're getting in. Thanks so much for that on C8. So C8 is something that again on the tire front. What's your sense, Dyaneshwar, on C8?
Well, Darshan, I would like to highlight two things in case of C8. First thing is, it is after a long time, it is managed to cross the 200-day moving average.
Yeah.
And second thing, if you look at the higher time frame charts, mainly on weekly, so in that case, the oscillators like an RSI, it is giving an intermediate trend line breakout, as well as the range has been shifted towards the above 50 line. So it is an positive indication. So one should buy at current market price. Keep a stop loss of 980 for an initial leg of up move towards the 1200.
Okay, and what's your sense, Nilesh? You bullish on Apollo. Are you seeing similar trends on C8 also?
Yes, definitely, Darshan. In fact, we are bullish on all the auto ancillary. We have seen a sort of a move in Apollo Tyre. We are expecting similar move in C8 as well. On the higher side, the immediate target that we are expecting is of 1050. One can keep a strict stop loss below 990.
Okay, that's the view that's coming in. The next two stock that's been recommended is both by Nilesh and Dyaneshwar, and both of them are Tata Chemicals. So we'll have you one by one, and then we'll speak about the chart, and then Kunal can give his verdict. So first, let's have Dyaneshwar's chart on Tata Chemicals and ask him why he is bullish on the counter. Yeah, give your rationale, please.
Well, Darshan, if you look at the overall chart structure, stock is moving in a higher top, higher bottom formation, and recently the stock is unfolded into the corrective pattern, and corrective pattern has been completed by making a bottom formation near about 550 marks. So here we can see the triple bottom has been found out on this chart.
Triples, just point out the triple.
Just one bottom, second bottom and third bottom. So
okay.
3 times it has taken a very good support and managed to break this level. So this is the minor resistance for the stocks, and simultaneously if you look at the patterns, so falling wedge pattern has been breakout. This is the second confirmation. Third confirmation will take from the RSI. Can you just zoom in the RSI?
Yeah.
Yeah, if in case of RSI, earlier when the stock was unfolded into the corrective pattern, so it is trading below the 60 marks and below the trend line, and we got the trend line breakout as well as the range shift of the RSI. So it will boost price to move towards the northward trajectory. So we probably see the targets coming towards the 730. By traders should keep a stop loss of 570.
500. So it's more of a positional call that you're giving, because the range of the stop loss and target is also right on the wide side. Okay, thanks so much, Dyaneshwar. Nilesh, we'll have your chart also, and you can explain why you are bullish on the counter.
Well, more or less points have been covered by Dyaneshwar, but I would like to suggest few things. The rally that we have seen, this rally, as you can see, first of all, this is a weekly chart, and the rally that we have seen now, it has given a healthy correction. This healthy correction is a good opportunity to go long. The reason being, it has made a falling, descending triangle pattern. From there, that pattern we earlier saw this breakout that has fizzled out, but now it has again broken the same breakout, provided the same breakout, then clearly indicates the stock, this particular counter has a very strong momentum which is likely to continue. Now in today's trading session, it has breached this particular candle's high, so that is again a good point to go long. Now if you look at the RSI, the similar thing that I just want to highlight again, it has provided trend line breakout. There is a falling trend line breakout that we have seen in RSI as well. So that these all factors are indicating this short-term momentum as well as the long-term momentum looks positive for this particular counter. We are expecting the target price of 600 and the first target that we are expecting is of 680 from very short-term perspective. The second target is of 700. One can keep a strict stop loss below 605.
Okay, thanks so much for that, Nilesh. So it's a bullish call that's coming in. Kunal, what's your sense? Are you also bullish on Tata Chemical?
Yes, definitely, Darshan. Even I am bullish. Darshan, I know that on 1st March I gave the call on Tata Chemical. At the time it was trading at 560 and I gave a target of 615. After giving a call, it made a high of 619 and after it fell. And again, stock took the support of the same which we discussed on 1st March. 560 is a strong support. It's a horizontal trend line, and on a daily chart, stock has given a breakout of its falling wedge formation, and right now it is trading above its 200 days moving average. So on a ladder degree structure, it has turned to an upper level. So my view is like any fall in the counter up to the level of 620, even 615 would become a good buying opportunity. Upside, I am seeing somewhere around 650 is the first target, and more above it 692 is my second target. However, downside at this level, support comes at 595. So 595 would be our SL, and upper side 692 would be our target.
Okay, so it's a consensus bullish call that's coming in. I just also want to address some of the buzzing stocks, and we'll ask our guest. I think Z Entertainment is one. I want to talk about Bajaj Finserv, which after so many days has managed to inch up significantly in trade, and Bharti Infratel, I think, is the third stock that I want to speak on. Is this a short covering or is there genuine buying that's happening? So Kunal, I'll start with you. The first stock is Z Entertainment. What's your sense?
Yes, and definitely, today we are seeing a good upside movement, and yesterday even stock gave a good upside movement with accentuated volume activity. My view is like one can go for a buy, but it's only for bounce back movement, and bounce back would be there up to the level of 294. So one can get into the stock for a target of 294.
294. Dyaneshwar, are you bullish on Z, or is it time to wait?
See, if you look at the overall chart structure, so stock is making lower top, lower bottom formation or lower time frame charts, and the 2 days momentum, like yesterday and today's momentum, is like just it is giving a pullback or some kind of short covering, we can say.
Okay, and what's your sense?
Well, the fresh buy will come above 300. As of now, it is merely a short covering rally, which is not likely to sustain. So I think it is better to avoid going long at current level.
Okay, avoid going long at this level. Bajaj Finserv is the other one. Nilesh, what's your move? What's your play on the sudden move that we've seen today?
Well, it's a perfect buy at current level. It has provided a fresh breakout in today's trading session. Breakout has come from its downward sloping trend line. The immediate target on a high side that one can look for is of 9,000. from a very much positional perspective. From very short term perspective, we can say that immediate target of 8500 to 8600. It's a perfect buy at current level.
Okay, and what's your sense, Bajaj
Yeah,
Finserv?
Bajaj Finserv in a higher time frame, lower time frame, it is moving in a higher top, higher bottom formation. So any dips could be capitalized as a buying opportunity for an initial leg of move towards the 8800.
Kunal, do you like Bajaj Finserv?
Yes, definitely. Means stock has given a breakout of its flag formation, and right now the way stock has been trading with volume, I am seeing a good upside movement in the counter. My first target is 8668, and if it crossed, then 8800 would be there.
Okay, and very quickly, the last stock is Bharti Infratel. I'll start with you, Kunal. Had the counter moved from yesterday? Is it the right time to get in, or it's an avoid?
No, Darshan, stock fell from 266 to downside up to the level of 2777, and I'm seeing still bearish movement would be there. So I think one should avoid this stock.
Dyaneshwar, Bharti Infratel.
Yeah, after 100 points downfall in just 5 to 6 trading session, I could say this would be a short covering if you take a 50% Fibonacci retracement. So stock may test 220 level in a few days.
Okay, and finally, Nilesh, what's your sense?
Well, rightly said Dyaneshwar, because earlier in the October series, we saw a huge amount of build-up of a short position. Now, this is merely a short covering rally, which might extend towards the levels of 215, 220 as well. But it's just a short covering. It's better to avoid going long and get trapped in particular counter.
Okay, that's the view that's coming in on this counter. But with that, it's a wrap on today's edition of Hot Money. Let me thank my guests who've come in today, Nilesh, Dyaneshwar, as well as Kunal. Thank you so much for coming in today. Ask BQ comes up next. Stay tuned to Bloomberg Quint.